Do your loved ones do everything and anything OCD wants them to do? We're going to talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist and make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And today I want to talk to you about how OCD hooks in the people that love you. That's not just you. That's literally everybody who has OCD. OCD is a family and friend affair. It will give you intrusive thoughts and feelings, and it will make you do things or avoid things to get that brief relief. But it will also demand that people around you do that. And it can look like different things for different OCD themes. You might ask your loved ones for reassurance over and over and over again, which is kind of a sense of checking. You might have them do things in a very specific way, or maybe they have to follow OCD's rules, or your OCD really freaks out. Maybe they have to wash their hands, or maybe they have to avoid sitting or touching certain things. It's completely different for each person with OCD because OCD has so many themes and disguises that it wears. But the thing that is not unique is how it hooks in your loved ones. So ask yourself, is my OCD bossing around the people I love? It's not your fault. It's OCD's fault. But a lot of times people see their loved ones as the problem and not OCD. So they see their parent as the problem, or their partner as the problem, or their friend as the problem, or their teacher as the problem, because they won't do and follow what OCD wants. But the truth is, if your whole family follows what OCD wants, and if your whole family bows down to OCD and does all the compulsions, they answer your questions that OCD wants answered, they reassure you the way OCD wants reassurance, they follow OCD's rules, they touch or don't touch or avoid or don't avoid, whatever OCD is demanding, they're growing your OCD. Because OCD is a vicious cycle. OCD gives you an intrusive thought or feeling, and then it demands you to do or avoid something to get brief relief. That might mean that you have to verbally check with your parent. It might mean you have to ask for reassurance. It might mean you have to ask them certain questions over and over. It might mean that you have to do your own things, like wash or organize or tap or avoid or literally anything, because OCD has a million things that it wants people to do, depending on your theme. But when your family is part of that loop, right, because the more you do or avoid, the bigger OCD grows and the more intrusive thoughts and feelings you have. Those neural pathways grow in your mind, in your brain. And so the more you do things, right, here's an intrusive thought, boop, and then whoop, I'm going to do or avoid something to get that brief relief, boop. The more this is going, boop, 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 right? The more that circuitry is connecting, the bigger it's growing in your brain. And so part of OCD treatment is to disrupt this circuitry, right? So you get an upsetting thought or feeling and you either delay or ignore the need to do or avoid something to get that brief relief. And so that circuitry is getting disrupted. So it's like boop, and then maybe boop, right? It's disrupted because you delayed doing it. Or maybe it's like boop, and then you never do it. And that is what breaks down the circuitry and the neural pathways that are creating OCD to begin with. But the tricky part is OCD is a very smart disorder. It involves other people to do this as well. So it's like, boop, I do this, I have this thought, and now I want my family to respond in this way, or to do this, to do a compulsion for my OCD. We call those things accommodations in the OCD world. You're accommodating OCD. You're listening to OCD. So your family is literally doing this, boop, 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 and they're growing the neural pathways in your brain, which is the last thing we want to do. And so we are asking our loved ones to actually grow our OCD for us. They're not the enemy. OCD is the enemy. And the first thing that we teach loved ones to do is to slowly and systematically pull back their involvement in following OCD's rules. Because if they love you, we don't want them to grow those neural pathways in your brain. Ideally, we want you to also learn that you don't want to do this nonstop. We want it to be disrupted. So What are the things that the people that love you the most are doing to grow your OCD? What are the things that OCD is telling them to do? What bossy things is OCD demanding that your loved ones answer or complete or avoid that they're doing? And what is one thing that you can start with where you can communicate with the people that love you and say, you know, when you answer that question, that's actually an OCD question. And the next time I ask that, just tell me, I'm not going to grow your OCD, I love you. Or you know how I require that you don't sit in that particular chair? That's my OCD asking you to do that. And I know it's going to be really hard, but you can sit in that chair. I know that's really overwhelming. Pick something small. But when we hate and get anger towards the people that love us who are pulling back those accommodations that are growing your OCD, we're missing the true target and the true enemy, which is not your loved one. It's OCD. So I do hope that you find the sparkle in everything you do. And I do hope that you communicate with the people that love you to let them know what areas they are doing that are growing your OCD, even though that's hard. And maybe work as a team to identify one small thing that they can stop doing and build on that. Because just like you, as you learn, these are all the compulsions that I'm doing, I'm going to slowly pull back and try to delay and eventually ignore doing that compulsion. Our loved ones have the same job. They are doing things and avoiding things for our OCD a lot of the time. And they have to slowly learn to pull back the things that they're doing. But we can work together as a team. They're not the enemy. They're the people that are supporting and cheerleading you. So try that. Let me know how it goes. And I'll be back next Thursday for another video. Take care.